There you go. That's my generation for you, kid. One of the original great rock and roll bands. So the debate we have in here, I said that's a drum solo, right?
No, it's not.
It wasn't a drum solo?
No.
You guys are drummers. I don't know.
The thing with the Who is
Yeah.
they were all lead in their own way. You understand?
Yeah.
They didn't quite blend like
You're
the
right
Beatles.
about that.
Get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
They all were kind of on their own, you could say.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to look at that. If you look at a guitar solo in a song, all the rest of the
Or a
band
lead
is,
break.
all the rest of the band is playing while the guy's doing his guitar solo.
He's just turned
Right,
up
so
louder.
is that a solo or is it a...
Well,
Yeah.
that I consider he's kind of taken over the song there.
At the
My
end.
Generation at the end.
I thought,
So
yeah, that's why.
that's a drum solo.
That's what I. That's
It's
why.
not a,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a solo, but it's a solo the same as guitar
You
players
can-
and keyboard players do.
I guess I could see your point in the argument, though, in the sense that he's playing, and it's everything Pete and John can do to keep up.
Well,
You
they're
know.
kind of filling in.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess the argument could be made that there's a lead, a drum lead there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, we did our tribute show last week, and I really, that was the right thing to do with BB. And
Yeah.
and Dave, my good friend Dave, you played with BB King. Where was this at? What were the circumstances?
Well, the story on that is it's when I was a kid, lived on the east side of Detroit on the border of Hamtramck. And at the time it was changing 1966, 1967. And what happened was the first black family moved into our neighborhood.
Okay.
And my father owned a butcher store meat market near Eastern Market, so we had everything from white and black clientele and everybody else, and I grew up as a kid with no prejudice. So it's like a new kid moves into the neighborhood, hey, come on, join us, we play, baseball and
Sure.
stuff like that, and play games and things like that. Well, it was about 6 months into them living there, and it was the summertime. And he comes over to the house and he says, hey, you want to come over to the house and play later on? And games like Monopoly and stuff like that. And he says, yeah, my parents are having a party in the basement and BB King's going to play.
Yeah.
And
You
I'm
didn't know
like,
who that
I'm
was.
like a 10-year-old kid going, what the hell's a BB King?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I go over there later on, and they've got a house party happening, and the band in the basement, and food, and barbecuing in the backyard, all this kind of stuff.
So this is 1967, just to repeat here.
66, I think it was.
Okay, so
66.
BB was well established
Oh yeah.
by the time.
Well,
Yeah.
he was.
So
yeah.
what
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
was
he'd had
is
a
that
few hits.
this band starts playing in the basement, and it's like I hear music, and it's like wow,
Something
I'm
you
just
never
drawn.
heard before. Yeah.
So me and my
Zoom.
friend, his name was Gregory Evans, and we sat at the top of the stairs and just listened. And I mean, it was truly magical. So after, say, 45 minutes or so, they took a break, and my friend Greg, he goes up to, BB King, and he says, hey, my friend Dave there, he's a drummer. And it's like, don't, what are you saying? Stuff like that. I'm 10-year-old. I was a hack,
Yeah, yeah.
So BB comes over, he says, you a drummer? I said, yeah, He says, well, you gonna play with me. So after, they took a break,
Sure.
I sat in on 2 songs. At this point in time, I could barely remember. I probably sounded like junk,
Yeah.
But they played the blues, and I played 2 songs at BB King. And after the set was over, he gave me a card or a ticket to their next show.
Oh.
And I still have it. It's framed and everything.
Will
And
you put that on Facebook if you could find it?
oh, I have it. It's framed with all my other.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
In my music room, I have all unused concert tickets, all the backstage passes of shows I ever been to.
Wow.
I mean, there's things there that I have every Woodstock ticket.
Oh, okay.
The very first Woodstock, the 20-year anniversary, 25, and both 30 anniversary, because they did the one at the racetrack,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they had some country one that I think Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson did at the original site, but they only had a few thousand people that showed up to that one, as opposed to like 100,000 at the
Wait.
real rock show.
When I met BB, I was at the Grandy Bar, 17 years old, and I had learned some of his guitar licks, and the guy was just, as I said last week, he was a nice man. Just a nice man, and I was expecting like a rude guy, you know, because the rock and roll star.
Was this before or after you met Howlin' Wolf?
This was after Howard.
Well,
no wonder.
yeah, no
Yeah,
wonder.
because Howard Wolf, he scared the hell out of me. He was gonna
Scary looking
he was
Howard
Not
gonna-
to mention, he's what? Wolf
a
was what, about
6'8".
6'8",
Yeah, he was
320?
a big dude.
You
Yeah.
know my Howlin' Wolf story.
Let's see. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
You got to hear
Have I
this
said
story.
that on the air before?
Yeah, but tell it again.
ahead.
Okay. Well, Hubert Sumlin was in the back seat of the cab. Howlin' Wolf
This
was
is
in
a
the front
great
seat.
story.
Hubert Sumlin, of course, being the guitarist. So Howlin' Wolf punched him right in the mouth, knocked out a tooth, and he said to Hubert Sumlin, "That's what you're thinking. That's for what you're thinking. Okay.
Smacks him
Yeah.
just for what you're
Wow.
thinking.
That's for what you're thinking.
Amazing. Just to get his
300 pounds of joy.
Yeah, oh yeah, joy. But I mean, I love his music, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, Frank. You know, I don't know if Frank was really into the blues. Frank was more into jazz, you know.
Yeah.
So when but when we first decided on Frank's Funny Favorites, that was our tribute because Frank had a good sense of humor.
Right.
But this is really the true thing for Frank. You know, he loved jazz guitar. I want to talk about this jazz guitar player right now, Jim Hall.
I haven't heard of him.
Oh, great guitar player, still around.
Mhm.
My friend Keith Warnick, may he rest in peace. He was one of my guitar teachers, and he told me about him. And so he does a song by Charlie Christian and Benny Goodman called 7 Come 11. And I want to play this for my cousin Frank right now. Let's go to the lounge right now and let's hear 7 Come 11.
And then we'll get back to track